Welcome back to your command center, where MATLAB turns math into motion. Let's code smarter, not harder. Okay, hello everyone. This is the first episode of MATLAB course. Hopefully it would be easy and enjoyable journey along the way. First of all, I just do recommend having your laptop open with MATLAB file to apply what we are taking step by step. Maybe split screens or watching from phone and iPad and then writing on the laptop. It's literally like up to everyone, wherever which devices you do have. But let's begin. First of all, I just wanna mention out where is MATLAB came from or where it's abbreviated from. So MATLAB, it's Matrix Laboratory, and it's used for engineering, math, data analysis, and it's common in several fields like aerospace, robotics, finance, and many, many more. So it's ongoing skill that is very important for your career or even your study if you are college students, which is MATLAB is growing up every day and its importance is increased because it's, as many people are saying, it's like big calculator. So let's don't waste any time and let's just begin. So I just want to start from scratch with you all. So this is an empty folder and we're gonna start running MATLAB. MATLAB gonna take some time. Here we go. So let's begin. Let's close this tab. So as we can see, now this format open up for us. It maybe consists of four important window, and we're gonna create the four. But we have the current folder, and current folder is not the folder you have on your computer, but the folder that MATLAB has it for you. So it's very important to always be in the folders that you intend to save, because future reference, when we are editing something, it won't be saved until it's in the current folder. Workspace, the workspace, you can think about it as your storage. You're gonna store all your variables. Let's say x equal 5. This is a new variable, right? If I press enter, now it's showing up in the workspace. So the workspace is your storage where all your codes that has any value will be exist in the workspace. Okay. Then as I said, what if now I wanna edit or edit a script? Okay, so there is another window called an editor. But how I can get this? I can just start write edit or function edit and then name the folder that I want the MATLAB to be, or give the MATLAB script a name. So maybe this first video, so I want to just give MATLAB the first video. And if anyone realizes I'm writing underscore because it just letters and underscore, it doesn't accept any spaces, any other characters, just letter and underscore in order to be saved. And then enter. And yes, this is show up whether it doesn't exist. Do you want to create it? Yes. And it's gonna show up in the current folder. Here we go. The first video .m and a new window called an editor. So what's the difference between the editor and command window? So the editor is like your notebook. The editor is any script that you do want it for long term and you just have to keep it. Okay, but the command window is your biggest or your big calculator. This is where you are testing some stuff. You are making sure that your code is going in a long way. But moral of the story, the command window, it won't be saved any code you do right, but the editor, it will save everything. So we're gonna use the editor because I want everything to be saved. But this basically the difference between command window and the editor. And I can just move all this stuff depend on which format I do prefer. This is the format I do prefer, but what if someone like different thing? So I just make the command window. Now here's the editor. So I just can press on the command window and it will go as where I want it to go. And if I press double click on the command window, it will take the entire page. I can do this with the current folder. I can do this with the editor or the workspace. I can get the editor down. I just like press on the editor and drag my mouse, and then like it's gonna go whatever I want, like which window to go. So yeah, I can customize the screen. And once I get the editor, there is a new icon here start to showing up, because when I do write the script, this editor icon that has run or run section, and we're gonna go through all of this, but it starts showing up because now MATLAB expect that I'm gonna like write some script. Okay, so as I said, like this is script is just like the things that I wanted to be saved. So let's just start with some simple stuff like x equal 5, maybe y equal x power 2, and then I can like the editor, it won't run right away unless I have to press run. Once I press run, here we go, x and y in the workspace, and in the command window he gave me like the proof or the result of my code. So that's why I was saying like command window, it won't like save anything, but it just shows the result. Okay, and then let's say like z equal square root y. Let's press run. Let's see what we got. We got 5. What sqrt? This is square root. So I do like to write notes and comments along the way. And by the way, this is, I want to take two things out of this line right there. So square root or sqrt, this is abbreviation for square root. And the best thing about MATLAB developers that each function that it has, it just derived from the name of the function. Like this is squared, we can like reading as we want, but like it came from a square root. And many examples will show up along the way. So squared is just the square root. And what's this green, and what's the difference between black and green? So this green word, it's a comment. So I just can write a comment by just doing the percent sign, which is like shift 5, and then I can comment my code to let it more organized and to remember like what did I write or what did I mean. When we are going deep more in programming for MATLAB, it's very important to do so, because it just you are giving your code to be user friendly for you, and if you are working on a certain project, you are making the another developer can read or can know what you want from each code. So it's very important to do so. Okay, so I want to go through like different functions or different tips that you will need along the way, but it's very important as a beginning. So as we said, if I'm writing any variable here, it's gonna show in the workspace. Okay, but I want to introduce something. So in the command window, instead of I have to write each code one more time, I can go to the command window and press the up arrow, and here we go. It will show all the codings that I did before. Let's say I will write the same coding, like x equal 5, y equal x power 2, z equal square root y. Okay, so now I'm gonna press the up arrow, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So I have x equal 5, x power 2, z equal square root y. Okay, so this is called command history. So whatever any code I do write in the command window, if I want this back, because sometimes it might be a very long line, so if I don't have to repeat all of this, but I can just edit it right away. Like I can, instead of y, I can write x. Now the like different result and so on. So this is the command history. It's very important also along the way. And if I put this arrow, if I press on this arrow and I press on dock, I make the command history part of my screen. If I want to return back, I just press undock. I can do this with the command window, but I don't want to do this right now, but I'm just showing you this, guys. And also for the workspace, the same thing. Current folder can be the same. And for the toolbar, I can just minimize it by pressing this arrow. Yeah, minimize the tool strip. If I want it back, I just right click here, right there. Here we go, restore tool strip, and so on. So this is very important to know. One more thing, what if I just like want to clear the command window? I can simply press CLC, and if I want to show this to you guys, CLC 3, 2, 1, enter, and it clears the command window. So what's the command, what's the CLC abbreviated from? It's clear command window. So I just, if I want to clear command window, CLC is very like important function to clear your code if you want to like try one more time or like editing or do something new. Okay, now like I will just write also like some figures. So this figure 1, it show without anything. Figure 2, figure 3. Let's imagine if we have like a very long coding and I don't want to like go close all of these tabs. Okay, one more tab that is also very important, I can just try close all, and then you guys realize that I do have 3 figures, but after pressing 3 alls, you guys can watch this for me, please. 3, 2, 1. Here we go, just now, just one tab. Okay, is this very important along the way also to know? And close all. Why all become pink? So the color pink, it came because all now it's a variable. So when anything become a variable, it will take this color pink. Okay, what about the workspace? What if I want to clear everything in the workspace? I will just try clear all, enter. Here we go. It's all clear. So close all to close any figures I do have when I'm just like preparing for a plots or tables or any figure I can code on, and clear all in order to clear all my workspace. And let's start from scratch one more time. CLC, enter. Here we go. Okay. Also, like this, very important to take notes along the way, because this is the first episode of MATLAB. We're gonna go step by step and depths as we go. But let's imagine if I'm write a code and MATLAB just give me busy in this area and he just cannot function. So if I start closing MATLAB, it's gonna cause an error and I might lose my entire code. So what I can do at this point? Okay, let's write like an example, like something like rand 1 E7 1, something like that. What this means? Okay, as I said, MATLAB, it's all derived from the same function. So rand came from random. So rand is just like a function that tells you, give me a random number between 1 million and 1. Or what E7? E7 is just 10 power 7. My bad, like, yeah, it's 10 power 7. It came from math, so it's the same thing, like E7, it's 10 power 7. But instead of writing 10 power 7, I'm just writing E7, and this is how MATLAB do accept it. And also rand is random, or like it's equivalent to random. So now I'm giving a function for MATLAB and telling MATLAB, okay, give me numbers between 1 million or 1 times 10 power 7 and 1. Give me numbers between this. So if now I press run, okay, I want you guys now like to observe this busy, and it will keep forever, because give me a random number between 1 million and 1, it might takes very, very long time. But what if I am on exam time and I do have 15 minutes left and I need like to stop this from working? What should I do? Okay, so I can just now I will press Ctrl C. Okay, so Control 3, 2, 1. I will press C. 3, 2, 1. And here we go. Operation terminated by the user during the first video. And actually it got like located now in Workspace and it's over. So this goes long way in deep coding, and it just, if you want to take note of this, Control plus C to stop MATLAB from running without jams. Okay. Also, one more thing, I can just press quit, and if I run quit, or if I write quit here and just press enter, it's gonna close MATLAB. But it's also like, I think it's important to know, but right now I don't wanna close MATLAB. Okay, and also what's this error, like bigger than and smaller than, like what this means? It just means a prompt. So just MATLAB tells you that he's waiting for you to start write your command in the command window. So this signs mean just your prompt. Okay, so also one more skill everyone has to know it. It's the search documentation, and it's basically the best friend for every MATLAB programmer. Because, okay, search documentation, we wouldn't know rand, or maybe it's new for us. What if I just wrote rand in the search documentation? And I press enter. Here we go, gonna give me MATLAB documentation. I can go to rand, uniformly distributed random numbers. I can go inside, they're gonna give me different examples. So it's search documentation is very, very helpful for any function you don't know, or for anything you need to check on or to go more in depth on. Or there is another tab, I can just write help and rand. Rand now it's variable, that's why it's pink. And if I press run, yes, so it has to run like all the code. So what we can do, let's see now, Control C, and let's introduce one more tool, which is double percent symbol. What's the double percent symbol and what's this line? This actually is section break. So if I wanna now press run, it's gonna run just help rand, and it will ignore all of this just by 2%. So let's write here help technique, or like any help. So if I press run now, it's loading. Here we go. In the command window, it gave me everything I should know about rand. Same thing, random is uniformly distributed, random numbers it return, and it goes in depth of what rand is. So yeah, those two tips should be your guys' best friend, whether search documentation or just help and anything you want to know about it. Okay, I want to return back to the double percentage sign. As we said, it's just like section break, or it's very helpful, as like right now when we saw this, like if I just want to run a specific line or code, so I will just do 2% signs and start writing. Or there is another option, like if I just remove this section break, this button, if I press it right now, it's gonna like make section break, and I can put title on this, which is like rand function. And yeah, it's gonna just run this help rand and ignore all of this. What this benefits me, it's gonna benefit me if I have a bug or an error in my code, and I wanna know which line has the error, like this line or this line. So I can run each line by 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 itself, and then we're gonna see, okay, is this the error came from this line or the error came from another line. So that's why it's very helpful. Okay, so let's return here. So we said x equal 5, y equal x power 2, z equal square root y. Okay, let's see something like, okay, let's see maybe q equal square root x, and now semicolon. Let's see what this will give us. Oh, okay, give me q 2.236, the result, but it doesn't give me the result in the command window. What does semicolon do,
I
or
didn't get that. Could you try again?
what does semicolon do, or what's the benefits of the semicolon, or what's its function in MATLAB? So semicolon, if I wanna like make it easy, it's just the bodyguard for the command window. So it acts as a preventer or suppressor. What this means, so it's bodyguard, so if it does exist, it won't go in the command window. But if I remove it, here we go, I got the answer in the command window. So it just bodyguards for the command window, as I said. If it does exist, it will go right away in the workspace without showing up in the command window. Once it gets removed, like here, let's clear the command window. Let's try run it one more time. It just run help brand and ignoring Q because Q has a bodyguard. If I remove the bodyguard and run again, here we go, I have the answer. So the semicolon is one of the important thing, and if you are confident with your code, then just like put the semicolon and it will go right away in workspace. But if you want to see the result of your line, then like, yeah, remove the semicolon. And then it's very important when we are doing a graphs, when we are doing tables, to see your product. So that's why you can just remove it until you can see, okay, this is the result I do want. And then when we want to move on, just put the semicolon. Like now, yes, we can put the semicolon. So, okay, as we said, MATLAB means matrix laboratory. So today I want to start with introducing to you guys matrices. Matrices is one of the most important skill or function it could be in the MATLAB. Every number, vector, whether it's even or odd or an image in MATLAB, it's just a matrices undercover. So matrices is a default data types, and we'll go through what's mean by data types more in depth in another episode. But yeah, just let's begin. So let's try something simple, like if I want to do a equal 1, 2, 3, comma, let's put semicolon 4, 5, and 6. Please feel free to write as I do write in order to go step by step with each other. What this will give me, or what we can take out from this line. Okay, let's run it first. Okay, it gave me 2 rows with 3 columns. Interesting, okay. But I didn't get it. What's the relation of matrices, or what can I get out of this? Okay, so matrices, it gives me rows and column. What I can get out of this, that if you guys realize, like space is kind of the same as putting comma in this line. So this is the first thing to observe, that space between numbers is the same as comma between numbers. Okay, what else? Like, what was the function of semicolon? Like, we can see in the results that 1, 2, 3, and then start another row, 4, 5, 6. Here we go. This is a key. Start another row. So the semicolon, this is another comment. Semicolon it's just starting another row for me. This is very important for matrices. So space, it just create a new column. Semicolon, create a new row. So space or comma, it's just adding a new column. So 1, space, then 2, then maybe comma, then 3. If I can keep going, I can. Semicolon, it just create another row. One more powerful thing about Workspace, you guys realize this size 2 multiplied by 3. This means it has 2 rows, 1 and 2, and 3 columns. 1 and 4 is one column, 2 and 5 another column, 3 and 6 is another column. So the size, like 2 multiply by 3, or the first number, second numbers, the first number represent rows, the second number represent columns. Okay, let's write another example. What if I do want to write something like B, 4, semicolon, 5, semicolon, 6, semicolon. There's no comma, just semicolon. So what I do expect to see, I think as we said, like starting semicolon means starting another row. So I do expect to see 3 rows. Let's see how this looks like. Here we go. Okay, first row, second row, third row. So this prove it too. Okay, let's put semicolon because now I'm already saw the result. Let's write another function like something like C, maybe 9, 8, 7. As we said, space between number, it create another column. So I do expect to see 3 columns. So if I press run, here we go, first column, second column, third column. So this is very important to recap very quick. In matrices, space, comma, okay, this creating new columns. Semicolon means it creating a new row. Okay, so this is very important as we go. Okay, what if I don't have this? This you guys always can observe, okay, in Workspace. Another thing for the size too, I can just write size, and if I want to know the size of A, like function size to know like how many rows and how many columns. If I want to run section, gonna give me 2 and 3, which is I can already see in the Workspace, but just in case, this also very important function because size, like a lot of errors can be happen in MATLAB because 2 variables with different sizes, because most of the time, or there is some functions that need the both variables having the same size, and if they do have different sizes, then like an error message will appear. So that's why it's very important to be aware of the size of each variable you do have, and this is how we can know whether size function or I can see it just in the Workspace. Okay. Another thing I want to introduce today is indexing. What's mean by indexing? Okay, so indexing, like the fancy definition, is accessing a specific element or part of a matrix or array by using rows and column position. Okay, but it's just finding the location when you do have a matrix. So I can find a location. Let's have an example. So this is A. What if I wanna know this value if it's not obvious for me? Like now I know that A has 2 by 3, but I wanna indexing, or I wanna know the numbers that does exist in this position, because this position, how I can find it, I just will start with A, because A, this is the variable A. Like I'm telling MATLAB, I wanna know this value in the variable A, and then I start with 2 things. First number 1, second number 2. What this means? Here we go. This is the most powerful thing about MATLAB. It just gives you hint along the way, and you just can read those hints, and we're gonna make your life way more simple. So this indexing, right? So I did write A, and then the first number is row, second number is the column. So I just if I wanna now press enter, gonna give me 2. Why is this? Because first row, so first row is this row, second column 1 and 2, so gonna give me this one. So if I wanna run section, here we go, the answer is 2. What if I wanna also make the same? Maybe let's see 2 by 2. I wanna go up a little bit to show you guys. So let's see what's 2 by 2 mean. So this is a second row, second column. So it should be 5. Let's see whether we are right or wrong. Okay, run section. Here we go, 5. So this indexing, or if I want to know a specific value. Okay, you guys might like see this, oh, it's easy. And it's really easy. But it's very important to know how to use this because, yeah, A is just like 2 by 3 in size, but sometimes you will get 67 multiplied by 100, or like 67 rows, or some data if you are measuring like salinity, depth, all of this goes like very, very like a lot of numbers, a lot of rows, a lot of columns. So indexing is, it's at some point, like if you want to know the depth, after this depth, you're gonna like take some actions in MATLAB is a tool that you can use for this. So yeah, this is indexing. But let's introduce 2 more ideas. What if I want to write something like that? 1. What this means? What my gives me? So okay, colon means all. So this column means all, or select all. And it depends. If it came in the beginning, gonna be select all rows. If it came in the second, like instead of 1, select all columns. So right now, it's just said select all, let's see A again, select all rows in the first column. So every row, but it has to be in the first column. So I should expect C1, 2, and 3. I believe so. Let's see. No, I was wrong, I think. Yes, I was wrong. So select all the rows in the first column. Okay, let's see what I did understand wrong. Yes, so select all rows in the first column. This is the first column, 1 and 4. And all rows, this is the first row and second row. So in the first column, like the first line, like 1 and 4. Okay, so colon means select all. Okay, what if, let's switch a little bit. What if I wanna like 2 and all column? So second row, but all columns. Okay, so second row, this is the second row, but he want all the columns. So now I do expect to see 4, 5, and 6. Let's see whether I'm right or wrong. No, this time I'm right. Okay, so also column, same thing, just means select all, everything. So if it was in the beginning, means select all rows, and then I'm gonna determine which column. And if it was last, then select all columns, and it's gonna determine which row it's gonna be selected of. Okay, so far so good. So this for indexing. Okay, let's go more in depth. Let's introduce today matrix operations. What is matrix operations? Okay, so we have A. So what if I want to add, this is A, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What if I want to add 1, like plus 1 in this matrix? What should I do? So let's write something like D equal A, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus 1. But it's a matrix. So when I press run, here we go. You give me D, 3, D equal 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which was A, but plus 1. 1 plus 1, 2, 2 plus 1, 3, 3 plus 1, 4, and so on. So This is the first thing we have today, which is we are adding a scalar. The scalar basically like it's something that has magnitude, not a direction, this kind in physics, but as a noun or in MATLAB it means singular value. Okay, let's see something else. What if I wanna also add, but let's add a maybe plus a. So let's clear this. A plus a, so 1 plus 1, 2, 2 plus 2, 4, 3 plus 3, 6. This is what I do expect from E. Let's see. Here we go. Let's put this on the bodyguard. Just we'll go to the workspace. Let's clear this again. Let's run this again in order just to have E. Here we go. E is here. And this was A. So yeah. Now it's clear. So A plus A. So 1 plus 1, 2. 4 plus 4, because A is getting added to itself. So 4 plus 4, 8. 5 plus 5, 10. 6 plus 6, 12. And so on. This is matrix addition. Okay. Okay, let's go to multiplication. Let's see how this will go. Okay, so F, let's put semicolon here to just ignore the rest. Okay, F equal A point multiplication A. What this would give me? Let's see. Interesting. What this means? Maybe 1 multiplied by 1, 2 multiplied by 2, 3 multiplied by 3, 4 multiplied by 4, 5 multiplied by 5, 6 multiplied by 6. Sweet. So here we go. So if A multiplied by A, it's just gonna multiply each element in each matrix with each other. And this called element-wise multiplication. Element-wise, why it's named element-wise? Excuse my spelling, but element-wise multiplication. Okay, why it's named element-wise? I didn't understand. So it's element-wise because it's wise, really. Okay, so because it just choose each value at each matrix to the corresponding value on the other hand. So you're gonna go through 1 and multiply by 1 on each one, on each variable. 2, it will choose like this position, like first row, second column. I'm gonna choose the first row and second column in the other variable and multiply together. Same thing with 3, same thing with 4, same thing with 5. So this is how multiplication go? No, this is just one type of multiplication. It's called element-wise multiplication, and this does exist in matrices only. Because there is another type, which is like, let's try to write something like let's Q maybe A. This, it's also multiplication, right? With A. Let's see what I would get. Uh-oh, first error. Incorrect dimension for matrix multiplication. Check that number of columns first matrix matches the number of rows in the second matrix. What he is saying. Now, the first rule of having or taking care of the sizes, it's showing off right now that we need to take care. So element-wise multiplication, it just go element by element. So there is no problem with this. But this called, let's do a comment here. This called linear multiplication. And this follows the rules of linear algebra multiplication, which has to see that the sizes need to matches. Number of columns of the first variable need to matches number of rows. What this means? So size of A is 2 and 3, right? So it should be 2 and 3, and the next variable should be 3, maybe 4, maybe 2, doesn't matter. But the middle value, the middle sizes should like align with each other in order for linear multiplication to happen. So now, right now, A1 multiplied by 3, and then the error erased because it looks like that 2 multiplied by 3. This doesn't match 3 and 2. But let's fix this. Let's fix it. So let's create another variable, maybe called b equal. Okay, so this 2 by 3, so let's create something like 3 by 2. So 3, 3, 4, another row, 5, 6, another row, 7, 8. Okay, this should be 3 rows, okay, 2 columns. Let's run. Okay, let's remove this. Let's clear this. Now just let's run b. Here we go. So I got b here, and 3, 3, 2. So right now, if I wanna like match with a, 2, 3, 3, 2. Okay, so number of column equal number of rows. So let's see if I wanna make another queue, but this time a linear multiplication with p. Okay, let's see. Bingo, here we go. We got the result, and it's right. There is no error because the sizes matches. But how they did multiplies with each other? I think this came from differential equation class, maybe calculus 3. But yeah, let's see how this happened. So, okay, I just want a, b, and q maybe. Thank you. Okay. Okay, let's see how this happened. So we are multiplying a multiplying by b. So 34, its position right now, it's 1 and 1. So 1 and 1, right? This is the position of 34. So 1 is the first variable, like first row for the first variable, which is a, and 1 first column for the second variable, first column, which is 3, 5, and 7. What does this mean? This is how we should multiply. Yes, so how are we gonna multiply? Easy, 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 easy. Okay, so 1 multiplied by 3 plus 2 multiplied by 5 plus 3 multiplied by 7. And we should get 34. And this is how linear multiplication go. Of course, MATLAB do these steps for us. We don't need to go all of this. But I just want to explain the difference between element-wise multiplication and just linear multiplication. Linear multiplication is just this 8 here. Also, I'm just also remind you guys to take notes as we go, maybe writing the script, because you don't know when you have to use all those functions, but it's very important along the way. Okay, let's keep going. So let's see if I wanna try new variable, maybe n equal a dash. What's mean by a dash? Okay, so a dash, it's called transpose. What's mean by transpose? So transpose, it came from something like transport, which is exchange. So I'm gonna exchange the rows of a with the columns of a, and change the columns of a with rows. So this a, right? We do remember a. So 1, 2, 3 is row, is the first row. It's gonna be the first column. And the first column, which is 1, 4, gonna be the first row. Okay, let's try this. So n, here we go. So 1, 2, 3 Let's expand this. Let's compare. So 1, 2, 3 was the first row, now becomes the first column. 4, 5, 6 was the second row, now becomes the second column. And this is a transpose, so we can now write transpose is the exchange between the rows and columns of a specific variable. Sweet, good to go so far. Okay, so this is matrices, but as I want to mention the importance of matrices, I want to do a small plot. I'm not going deep today in plotting, but I just want you guys to see how even plotting is a form of matrices. So what I did right now, I just want to recap real quick. I just section break, do a small plot, and I'm gonna start like run through this function. Let's clear this little bit. Okay. So now, right now, if I did any lines here and I press run section, they're gonna run everything after the section break, not before. So let's see if I wanna write like X. And okay, so let's use some tool that we do have, like clear all. Here we go. Workspace now is free for us. Okay, so X equal 0, 0.1 to multiply linear multiplication, right? By. What this means? So like it's 0 colon 0.1 colon 2 multiply 2 by. So okay, this for plotting 0. So let's write here 0 is the first step. So this is the x-axis. So we are saying to MATLAB that I want my x-axis to start with 0, and we're gonna this 2 pi, okay, is the end. 0.1 is the step. Okay, let's try to run it. What did we get? Let's see. So 0, 0 0.1, 0 0.2, 0 0.3, 0 0.4, 0 0.5, 0 0.6. What this means? It means it does increase by 0.1. And it start with 0, ended by 2 pi, which is like 2 pi equals 6.2. So, here we go. Okay, so 0 is the first step. 0.1, this is called like this is the start. Okay, and 0.1, this is the step. Okay, so we are starting with 0 and then we are going 0.1, which is increasing step by step, and the end would be 2 pi. There's a comment. So this is the range of x-axis. So I'm telling MATLAB I want to start my x-axis with 0. I want to increase the x-axis by 0.1 until it reaches to 2 pi. Okay, let's write the y-axis. So yeah, let's see, like now I press enter and I want to go back. So I will just press Ctrl Z, and this existed everywhere, even Microsoft Excel, everywhere. Ctrl Z just to undo what you did. Okay, let's write y equals sine x. Okay, and then finally with the plot x y. Okay, I want to save those semicolon. I do trust those lines, but let's see the plot. I want to see the plot. Here we go. So the plot starts with 0, as we said. 0 was starting position, and then increase by 0.1, 0.1, 0.1 until it reaches 6.2, which is 2 pi. And it gave me this figure, because plot is figure. so gives me figure 1. I don't want to make the episode super long for you guys, so that's why I will stop there. There is another episode will go in depth with plotting, so stand by for this episode. But for now, even I just wanna show you guys that even this plot is based on matrices x and y. So basically, matrices is one of the important thing in MATLAB that everyone should know. Okay, so my rule now it's over, but it's your turn now with many assignment. And this assignment, I want you guys to create a 3 by 3 matrix, maybe calling this M. Okay, then multiply all element by 2, then add 10 to the first row. Okay, please feel free to do this assignment, and I do recommend applying all this concept several times because programming is about practice and practice makes permanent. So do this many assignment. It's probably very easy as far as we go through the entire episode. Now we have reached to the end of our first video. Thank you and see you all next episode.